So, no, I wouldn't say I have a passion for HR.
Welcome back to Human Resources for the People. It's a human capital revolution. Today we're going to be talking about the next strike that might be coming after we got the UPS contract potentially out of the way, question mark. We've got another one coming. Stellantis and Samsung are announcing plans to open up a battery plant in 2027 in Kokomo, Indiana, and that is going to really affect a lot of the discussions surrounding the United Auto Workers Union, which is in the process of negotiation with Stellantis. So Stellantis owns Jeep, Ram, Dodge, and Chrysler, and the union, despite its liberal bent, is actually it has a very high criticism of battery plants because they pay about half of what a senior United Auto Worker member makes at an assembly plant, and in addition, what happens with EV is that there is a lot less parts that need to be made, and as a result, a lot fewer workers. Electric vehicles need 30% less labor to produce than internal combustion engines, and in addition, there may be further cuts with respect to automation that may be coming around the bend. What that could mean is that electric vehicles may be more reasonable to purchase in the future. Labor cost is an expensive piece of the trucks and cars that are made in Detroit, but ultimately the union is upset about the emergence of electric vehicles and what it means for their people. The key date to look out for is in about a month and a half. The big three, which is General Motors and Ford, as well as Stellantis, do have their contract coming up with the United Auto Workers on September 14th. They strike a contract all sort of at the same time. They all expire at the same time. The big three automakers all work together. And it's likely that the union will pick one of the automakers as a target and strike then with respect to one of the three. And that's how the United Auto Workers have been operating for a little while. And I think that that's what you might see if if companies don't bow to the strikes, you might see more. Sean Fain, who's the president at United Auto Workers, is ready to go on strike if automakers don't meet the union requests. One of the main problems for the United Auto Workers, I would imagine, is the increase in planned battery capacity throughout the United States, which seems to be heavily focused in the South, right? So we're seeing more vehicle assembly locations moving south. We're seeing more capacity moving south. This particular article highlights Kokomo, Indiana. Kokomo is North Indiana, so it's pretty much in the Rust Belt. It makes a good bit of sense. But Kansas, North Carolina, Ohio, and Tennessee will be key players, and they have a planned capacity for between 46 and 97 gigawatt hours of electrical vehicle battery production by 2030. The automakers are putting in $40 billion into these factories, and that's going to require a massive outflow of jobs from Detroit, from the Rust Belt into the South and into the Midwest. And that is going to cause some significant problems for the automaker or for the United Auto Workers, who's very concerned about this loss of jobs. These states many of them are right to work states, and as a result, the unions hold less power. In addition, there's less union density in these states, which is a key driving factor of success in union organization and negotiation. When reviewing this article, what I found kind of interesting is that the pay is just extremely low. So there was a joint venture between GM and Korean battery maker LG in Warren, Ohio. It's Rust Belt. It's outside of Youngstown and southeast of Cleveland. And they struck a deal with the United Auto Workers. But the starting pay is only $16.50 an hour, and they're going to progress to $20 an hour after 7 years, which is a very interesting structure, right? That is not a whole lot for a union United Auto Worker site. I've worked in quite a few shops that make quite a bit more than that are non-union. I think that is very impressive. Compared to that to United Auto Workers in a big three factory at top seniority rates, they're making $32 an hour. They get an annual bonus profit sharing. They're making pretty good money in Detroit, but these electric vehicle battery makers are really not, their workers are really not raking in the cash. Sean Fain seems, who is the president of the United Auto Workers, seems pretty frustrated by the Biden administration. The federal government is giving billions upon billions of dollars in tax credits for building electric vehicle battery plants, but there's no stipulations on it. Sean Fain said in request to a response from CNN, the federal government is funneling billions of taxpayer dollars into this industry, and that money should come with a commitment to maintaining current union wage and health and safety standards in this and every EV project. And that's what you're seeing brewing here. There is a little bit of a dissonance here with respect to the liberal Democrats who are wanting to, produce and improve electric vehicles for climate change purposes, and a union who can't afford to lose members as a result of these promises. And you're seeing a significant backlash that I think might play out in next year's election. Let me know what you think in the comments down below about this topic. I think it's an interesting one. I think that the United Auto Workers might be stuck in a world of automation and electrification that may not, bode well for the future. Like, share, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next video. Bye, guys.